Liebe Hörerinnen und Hörer, herzlich willkommen beim Special Gruppendynamik bei Carl-Auer Sounds of Science, Ihrem Podcast im Carl-Auer Magazin. Dieses Special bietet eine Serie von Gesprächen, die Dr. Maria Spindler mit Autorinnen eines bedeutenden Buches führt, das sie gemeinsam mit Dr. Ruth E. Lerchster herausgegeben hat. Titel: Gruppendynamik, die Gestaltung dynamischer Prozesse für Leadership, Beratung, Teams und Organisationen im 21. Jahrhundert. Im Gespräch von Maria Spindler mit Gauri Nigudkar und Liselotte Zvacek wird die Erfahrung von Gruppendynamik in Trainingsgruppen und in weiterer beruflicher Praxis verknüpft mit der Erfahrung des Beobachtens dessen und Schreibens darüber. Besonderes Augenmerk liegt auf den Kooperationsaspekten von Co-Leitung und Co-Autorinnenschaft sowie unterschiedlicher Kulturalität und sprachlicher Kontexte. Wie interagieren hier Formen und Inhalte und was überrascht bei dem, was dabei emergiert? Gauri Nigudkar ist ISABS-Lehrtrainerin und Mitglied im US-amerikanischen National Training Laboratory (NTL). Als Organisationsberaterin liegen ihre Schwerpunkte bei organisationalem Wandel, Führungskräfteentwicklung und Organisationskultur. Dr. Liselotte Zvacek ist Lehrbeauftragte und Lehrtrainerin der ÖGGO, ebenfalls Mitglied des NTL und Organisationsberaterin mit Schwerpunkt auf Entwicklung von Führungskräften und Beratung bei Veränderungsprozessen. Maria Spindler ist internationale Organisationsberaterin, Leadership Developer, ÖGGO-Lehrtrainerin und Lerchster-Gruppendynamiktrainerin. Sie ist Buchautorin, Universitätslehrende, Vortragende. Viel Spaß im Gespräch mit Maria Spindler, Liselotte Zvacek und Gauri Nigudkar. Hallo und herzlich willkommen. I just start with German language and then switch to English. Herzlich willkommen zu unserem nächsten Gespräch in der Serie Gruppen-Dynamik, wie ich es nennen will wieder. Titel des Buches, herausgegeben von Maria Spindler und
Lerchster.
Ruth Lerchster. Ich gebe dann wieder an die Maria zum Führen des Interviews. I just switch to English now because this conversation will be held in English. And I say hello to Gauri Nigudkar in India. You are in India now, are you?
Yes. Hello, I'm Gauri and
Yes.
I'm in Mumbai right now.
In Mumbai now. Okay, great. Thank you for being here. And hello to Liselotte Zvacek. You are in?
Wolkersdorf, which is close to Vienna, Austria.
Okay, so we're around the world. And hello to Maria Spindler. She will make the interview as usual in this series. And if I have some question I find interesting, I just show up to you, Maria. So let's start, please.
Thank you, Matthias. And thank you, Gauri and Liselotte, for taking your time for this interview. The interview is about your book contribution. In German, it's Sich über alle Barrieren hinweg verbinden. Gruppendynamik und Trainingsgruppen im virtuellen Raum bei ÖGGO und ISABS. In English, it's Connecting Across Barriers. And I looked up your CVs and I thought, okay, this writer's duo was already like a twin duo when they wrote their CVs because they are more or less completely similar. So Gauri and Liselotte, you are both organizational consultants, management trainers, teacher trainers for Gauri, you for ISABS, the Indian Association for Group Dynamics. Liselotte, you are teaching trainer for the ÖGGO, that's the Austrian Association for Group Dynamics. And you are both members of the US Group Dynamics Association, the NTL. And you are both photographers.
Okay.
Also interesting, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And Gauri, you are a creative writer, and Liselotte, you are in addition a leadership coach. So welcome to this podcast. And this podcast is special because it's also an experiment. It's, we group dynamics people like experiments. And what we do here is we make your collaboration, means the form of your collaboration, the content here in the podcast. So it's a principle of group dynamics, because in the group dynamics, we also say the form is the content. Okay, so the first question, what can be considered as the birth of your article? And how did it become your joint baby, so that you had the feeling, okay, this is now really our thing. It's we are co-authors now. Who would like to start? How did it all start? Gauri?
Interesting process now, isn't it? Yes, Gauri.
Okay, you can do the meta perspective, Matthias.
Yes, yes.
So Maria, that question is very interesting for me. What was the birth of this article? And there are two answers to this. I think maybe it was first conceived when Liselotte and I met for the group dynamics work in Graz, when I had come to Graz. As the exchange, we keep doing exchange between ISAPs and OKGO. So I was there that time. We bonded as people and on many things. So it seemed like it was meant to happen, the article. But the trigger actually happened when all of us were, going through the pandemic. And that's when we connected with each other to understand what was happening at that end in Austria for group dynamics and what was happening in India for group dynamics. And we got talking to each other. We kept sharing notes with each other. And I think that was the birth of this article in some ways. What do you say, Liselotte? Over to you.
Yes, I would say the first time when we met and worked together, there was a bonding. And I would say for me, so that we write an article together was a little bit of the experience we had during the pandemic in our own organizations, and where we just we wanted to show that you can make it happen, and what is the grounding, what is the baseline you need to make that happen. And I think we had similar experiences in our organizations where there were many people who said, it's not possible, you can't do it, you will kill the method and things like this. And we just said, in the virtual media, people will work in this media in future time, and so we help them just to become better in communication in the virtual medium. And we didn't want to replace the face-to-face group dynamics, but we just wanted to help people in this very, very strenuous time what was there. And so I think this was the spark between us.
Great, thank you. So when you this writing seen as a joint process, a process, you said, of bonding, connecting, co-creating, growing also together, no? Because you more or less invented something new. I would like to look closer on the individual level, on the collaborative level, and on the context level. Let's start with the individual level. What was when you see this writing as a process, what touched your passion and your purpose, and what connected with your experience? Who would like to start? It's always like in the group dynamics trainings group, a small pause.
I can go, Maria.
Yeah.
So I think what excited me in that moment was co-creating something, and co-creating across the borders. That was a time when one had no connection outside, sometimes even outside your room. If somebody had COVID, the person was like restricted only to one's room and not even beyond that. And here it was, Liselotte and me connecting with each other across the borders. And online was the medium at that time. So that was a very exciting thing, that even if all of us are restricted, we cannot move around anywhere. We are still connecting. We are still building something together. We are still co-creating. So the possibility is what excited me. The possibility of creating something new. Nobody had online labs till then, and the medium was different, the platform was different. So that piece excited me a lot. And at a very personal or individual level, I think what excited me most was uh, being able to contribute something to the world. Contribution is a very big value for me. So being able to contribute to the world and co-create with a very, very dear friend, those two things coming together was what fired me in that moment. And, it motivated me to keep going and keep writing, and all the iterations that we did and everything. But I was really motivated because of that.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, for me it was the whole process was taking place also virtually. So we recorded our sessions, we took out the draft of it and met again, and it was a process very smooth and fluent. And for me it was to bring in all the experience I had gathered in the months of the pandemic. And so it was we were writing about something which was happening on the screen between us. And so in a different roles, we were not the trainers, we were the writers, we were the authors. And this was like a second layer of cooperation, what we experienced in this case. And then we had to translate it again then to German. So this was it was funny because we had two processes. So the one process was really talking to each other, writing, and then at the end we realized, okay, now we have to translate it in a language which Gauri doesn't understand. And this was also, the ending was really demanding. Yeah, it was demanding.
I remember this special time because I felt a little bit guilty.
Okay.
I knew Gauri wouldn't understand it. And I had the feeling, gosh, she has to put really a lot of trust into Liselotte so that she brings this out, what she wants to say. Yeah. And how did this change your relationship? You said there was a bonding already at the beginning, and this writing process, this joint process, how did this change your connection to each other?
I would go, connecting is just a word. So there was the 50 years anniversary of ÖGO, and Gauri came, and we had a workshop about connecting beyond barriers. So we just put this then into a face-to-face experience, and the results of the workshops, or the feedback of the workshop, was really great. And we are going on with our collaboration. We are going to have a seminar in January about diversity, equity, and inclusion for ÖGO. So it's just an ongoing process.
Our collaboration strengthened the bond that we have with each other at a personal level. And I think as a writer, I gained a lot from Liselotte. Yeah. And I gained a lot because she has a very structured approach. She's able to bring in a very research-oriented mindset. I don't have all that. I'm more a flowing person. I'm more a spontaneous and an intuitive person. And I write intuitively. But to make it more, to make it easier for a person to grasp what we are saying. I think Liselotte did all that for us. And I learned from that space how to say things, write things in ways in which people can understand it better, how to structure it. And yeah, immense trust, of course, in each other. So she would come up with an idea and share it with me, and I would say, okay, I'm going to write this and share it with you. And she would say, ah, okay, great. And then, I would write something, send it back to her. She would structure it, send it back to me. Then we would connect on calls. So it was a lot of connection that was happening at that time through different tasks. But the connections were also deepening emotionally with each other.
Before I forget it, I have just a short question in between and then give up to Maria again. You said something about, or you formulated, it was not replacing face-to-face, but it was, well, using both and seeing the differences, whatever. I don't know whether I understood it, but I heard not replace face-to-face. This is like music. And what I just wanted to ask in between is, sometimes you have no other chance than to do it on the screen. Sometimes you would choose to do it in present. Is it something that is good if you can choose? For example, if you say you could meet in present, but you choose to make it digital. It's maybe going too deep into the contents of your article, and we can do it another time. But I think this was very interesting how you can choose the differences between the two formats. Say, I don't know.
I'd like to answer that, Matthias, because as you know, things started opening up post the pandemic, when it was easier and possible for us to do face to face and meet in person. Many of us continue to use also the online medium, because often it is found that between one group dynamics experience and the other group dynamic experience, there is a long gap and there isn't a continuity, there isn't a support available. Now, the online platform makes it easier for us to provide that support to people who experience group dynamics.
Okay.
And it helps to have the online platform, because people come from across the world or across India or across Austria, and they cannot meet in person for 30 minutes or 40 minutes. But that 30 or 40-minute call, when a person is experiencing something, reflecting, changing, that 30-40-minute call is very, very helpful to the participant who has gone through the whole experience.
Okay.
And is transforming.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Maria. Or
so let's go back to the form. No?
Yes, of course. Let's go back to the form. Of course. Yes. I couldn't avoid it, sorry.
Yeah. So what were our special challenges? The article is even also called barriers, no? Between the two of you. Yeah? Whereas one was the language topic, but was there something else you say, this was really hard for us and we had to invent something new for us, or something new came out of this between the two of us as a writers duo? I mean, this is the most interesting thing now for the listeners, no?
You see, they're very careful to answer. Okay.
I think one of the things that was difficult for us was to make a choice of what content do we want to keep and what do we want to, take away. What is it that we want to edit out? Because every single aspect of creating online group dynamics labs was very, very critical, very important. And while there were a lot of similarities, there were also differences. So which ones to hold and which ones to let go was a challenge, and we had many conversations around that.
Mhm.
Okay.
And how did you decide then? How you said you had many discussions. How did you decide we go into this direction and not into that?
I would say one thing was the theoretical frame. So the theoretical frame helped us really on the one hand side, the action research, and on the other hand side, the U theory, just to use that as a framework and keep those parts who are really aligned with the framework. And there could be a lot of additional information. We had a lot of results from the questionnaires, so we had a lot of data, so we could have written a second article. And I think the theoretical framework helped us to keep the focus. And when first we asked, can we have some more pages? But then it was clear, so we have to stick to the words. And so this was then actually the reason why we changed that.
Okay.
So to align the whole thing between
Yeah.
to align your interests. It's
Yeah.
what I also
May I add something to what Liselotte said? I think the other thing which helped us decide, which direction we want to go into was keeping in mind that we are writing article for future practitioners or for people who are already, teachers or facilitators of group dynamics. So these are people who will put it into practice, the whole online process. That was helpful too in deciding what direction we will take.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what were so highlights where I said, okay, I say then sometimes, this makes me crazy. This is so great. This is so special. A spark coming in, and I said, oh gosh, this is so. I can't even express it because it's so great what's coming in. Did you have such moments?
Yeah, for me there was this moment of the describing of the different here and now situations. So this was something where I said, oh yeah, you're sitting in front of the computer, maybe there is something going on your second screen, there is something going on in the room where you are, there's something going on in your head. And so the principle of the here and now is virtually different than it is in the here and now if you're in the same room. And I think this was so elaborating this and finding another layer. This was a moment where I said, oh wow, really this is a new finding. Yeah.
All right.
I think it was about recognizing that these are, this is a and, it's not an either or process.
Okay.
And discovering that this opens up the entire universe to come together and collaborate for the diversity inclusion to happen in such a different way. That really was a very big highlight. And the point of frustration was really, but there is so much to say, and I can't say everything because there is a word limit. So that was a point of frustration.
So it's what I understand, to bring your passion and to bring your purpose into a form, no? And an article into an article.
Well,
and I think Liselotte had a tough time because I would write like long paragraphs and then she had to translate into German, and then she had to fit it into the word limit.
yes.
So she did a lot of hard work for us.
I think it will not be the last sentences you bring up to the world. So there is always a second chance. Before I want to give you the typical Carl-Auer Sounds of Science question, also to you both, just one remembering. I was at the Frankfurt Book Fair last week, and I had an interview with a very, very well-known Italian author for children's books and illustrator. and Davide Kali. And we had also the formal question about what makes illustration and story cooperate, and how do they both go to other directions and then cling together too. And this reminds me on that. It's like a process of arts, of course. Thank you very much for the insight. Well, the Sound of Science question typically is to you both. Maybe you had the idea that we ask something and it didn't happen. So if there is a question you want to ask to yourself now and answer it, it's a possibility. Or if you had some statement you find, I have to say that before the interview is at the end. So the room is open, whoever wants to begin. If not, then not.
Question that I would like you to ask us is, what are we writing next?
Yeah.
Because we would like to write. We would love to write more. And I think Liselotte and I, we've discussed book ideas, and it's time to take that forward. So
Okay.
you'll soon hear from us or read from us, if we can say it like that.
You see, this is one of the reasons that this question is so good, because now I'm happy that I hear that I heard that. And all the people that listen to us heard that. Thank you very much.
Oh, great article. Thank you for the article in the book. Connecting across all barriers. Sich über alle Barrieren hinweg verbinden. Read it. It's a great article. Thank
Absolutely.
you, Liselotte and Gauri.
Thank you too. And thank you, Maria, for the chances for these good talks to people. Thank you very much. See you.
Thank you for having me. And
Thank you.
Liselotte.
Thank you. Bye.
Maria Spindler, Gauri Nigudkar und Liselotte Zvacek bei Carl-Auer Sounds of Science im Special Gruppendynamik. An dieser Stelle wie immer der Hinweis auf alle Podcasts, Blogs und Beiträge im Carl-Auer Magazin. Jeden ersten Dienstag im Monat sprechen beispielsweise Susanne Delius und Conny Strobel in der Podcast-Reihe Zusammen entscheiden, im Treffpunkt entscheiden, beim Carl-Auer Magazin mit AutorInnen und Autoren der Rezeptbeiträge im Buch Zusammen entscheiden, das die beiden Interviewerinnen gemeinsam herausgegeben haben. Besuchen Sie gerne unsere gesamte Website carl-auer.de und stöbern im Programm mit den aktuellen Neuerscheinungen, natürlich in der Backlist und im Magazin. Hier ein Hinweis noch auf unseren Veranstaltungskalender auf carl-auer.de. Ein wunderschönes großes Angebot vieler Veranstaltungen, Ausbildungen, Kongresse. Stöbern Sie auch dort. Danke für die Aufmerksamkeit und bis zum nächsten Mal bei Carl-Auer Sounds of Science.